The damp chill of the Thames seeps directly through the limestone walls of the Queen's house. It is just before dawn on May 19, 1536. The air in your bedchamber smells of tallow candles, stale sweat, damp rushes, and iron. Outside your narrow window, the fog is thick and gray, swallowing the city of London in complete silence. You are 35 years old. You are the crowned Queen of England. And in less than 4 hours, your head will be severed from your body. History painted this era in golden brocade, courtly romance, and majestic banquets. But stripped of romantic myth, Tudor royalty was not a fairy tale. It was a high-stakes corporate boardroom where a single drop in quarterly value cost you your life, and where every glance was scrutinized by professional predators. You spent 7 years fighting to wear the crown of England. You sparked a religious revolution, tore an empire from the Pope, and reshaped European politics. Yet here, inside the Tower of London, you are merely an asset being liquidated to make room for a new merger. Imagine waking up to that realization. The physical reality of your final morning begins with absolute stillness. Your sleep was fragmented, interrupted by feverish prayers and sudden fits of hysterical laughter that terrified your attendants. When the heavy oak door creaks open, there is no warm bath waiting, no perfume from Venice to mask the lingering dread. The luxury of the court has evaporated. You wash your face with icy water from a pewter basin. Your dressing ritual on this morning is not about beauty but strategic political theater. Every layer you put on is an explicit statement to the crowd waiting outside. Your ladies-in-waiting assist you with trembling hands. You choose a gown of dark gray damask over a scarlet petticoat. Gray for penitence and modesty, but scarlet for martyrdom, the traditional color of innocent Christian sacrifice. Around your neck rests a mantle of white ermine, a defiant reminder to the kingdom that you die as an anointed queen, not a common criminal. Your fingers gently touch your throat. It is a gesture you have repeated constantly for the past 48 hours. Just yesterday, you joked nervously with the constable of the tower, William Kingston, saying that you heard the executioner was very good and your neck was very small. You were trying to find humor in an abyss. But today, the joke is dead. The physical reality of the blade is waiting. The atmosphere inside the fortress is thick with toxic paranoia. You are not alone in your final hours, but you have no allies. The 4 women assigned to attend you are not your trusted companions. They are spies appointed by Thomas Cromwell, the king's ruthless chief minister. Every word you utter, every sigh, every tear is immediately transcribed and carried across the river to Whitehall. Think of it as a state-sponsored panopticon. For 2 full weeks, you have lived under 24-hour surveillance, unable to whisper to God without your captors analyzing the syllables for treason. They watched you for signs of confession, looking for any shred of guilt regarding the fabricated charges of adultery, incest, and plotting the king's death. But you gave them nothing. Under the immense weight of state terror, you maintained your innocence with fierce, unyielding pride. By 7 in the morning, your almoner, Father John Skip, arrives to administer the last rites. You kneel on the cold stone floor, pressing your lips against the crucifix. You swear your soul before the blessed sacrament, declaring one final time before heaven that you never broke your marriage vows to King Henry. In a world where damnation was a terrifying, concrete reality, no 16th century believer would risk eternal hellfire by lying upon the host minutes before dying. Meanwhile, just beyond the thick walls, the mechanical preparations are underway. You can hear the rhythmic thud of hammers against timber. Carpenters are finishing the low wooden scaffold on Tower Green. King Henry VIII granted you one final grotesque mercy. You will not face the clumsy English axe, an instrument known to butcher and mangle condemned prisoners. Instead, he paid extra to import an expert swordsman from Saint-Omer in France, a master of the two-handed executioner's blade. The psychological terror of this moment is unimaginable. You sit on the edge of your bed, listening to the footsteps in the corridor. The execution was supposed to happen at 9, then it was delayed to allow foreign diplomats to leave, and then rescheduled. The waiting is psychological torture designed to break your resolve. You look at your attendants, women who will watch you die and then rifle through your trunks to steal your remaining gowns and jewelry. You are completely, utterly isolated. At roughly 8 in the morning, the heavy bolts slide back. William Kingston stands in the doorway. It is time. You rise without hesitation. Surrounded by your weeping ladies, you walk through the archway into the pale morning light of Tower Green. Nearly 1,000 spectators have gathered, including the king's illegitimate son and your fiercest political enemies. You step onto the freshly built scaffold. You do not stumble. You address the crowd with measured, deliberate dignity. Under Tudor law, a condemned traitor who cursed the sovereign risked the total confiscation of their family estate, which would leave your 2-year-old daughter, Elizabeth, destitute. So you walk the razor edge of survival for her sake. You praise the king as a gentle and sovereign prince, while subtly refusing to confess to any crime. You ask the people to pray for you. The ritual reaches its gruesome climax. Your ermine mantle is removed. You tuck your dark hair beneath a linen coif, clearing the path for the steel. You hand your ladies a small purse of coins, a customary tip for the headsman so he performs his work cleanly. You kneel upright, not on a low block, but on the bare straw, your eyes covered with a blindfold. Your lips move rapidly. To Jesus Christ I commend my soul. Lord Jesu, receive my soul. The French swordsman steps forward. To prevent you from flinching, he uses a deliberate trick. He calls out loudly toward the steps, "Bring me the sword," drawing your senses away. In that exact fraction of a second, with a single, silent, horizontal sweep from the opposite direction, the heavy blade arcs through the morning air. In an instant, the drama that broke the English church and shattered an empire is over. Your body is left lying on the scaffold, wrapped hastily in an old elm chest that once held arrows, and buried beneath the stones of the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. We remember Anne Boleyn not because she was a victim, but because she dared to play a lethal game of power in an era that demanded female silence. She fell, but history had the final word. 42 years later, the daughter she protected on that scaffold, Elizabeth I, would usher in the greatest golden age England had ever known. The queen they tried to erase from the portraits ended up defining the nation forever. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark, unfiltered corners of history, take a moment to subscribe. Leave a comment with the next historical moment you want us to dissect, and explore our other deep dives into the past.